Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And if you've probably looked at social media over the past week or two, you've probably been inundated with these viral, over-the-top, insane displays of gaudiness from people who really have nothing else more to live for. You look at some of these kids who are going to prom, and they're all from one side of the tracks, if you know what I mean. They're dressing up. They're putting on these performances, the show. And it's not even classy. It's not even authentic. It's so fake. It's so gaudy that when you look at these prom entrances and these prom displays, it's just sad that these are people that believe that they have to rent out fancy cars, fancy clothes, fancy jewelry, and you know they rent these out. They don't buy them. They have to take out $2,000 in cash and $20 bills and flash it around their hands just to make them feel good about themselves, when they probably live in a low-income housing unit. Well, that's what the ghetto prom is. And the question that's being asked now is, are blacks substituting ghetto proms for weddings because of baby mama culture? I have a different take. I think that's part of it. But before we get into that take, let's look at some examples of this just audacious, over-the-top behavior.
Rich nigga fragrance, I smell like the bank. Them boys thinking they can fuck with me and can't. Look dog sweat, he keeping up with me and ain't. Pull up Rolls Royce, candy color paint. 1,000 horses in this TRS, hope I don't lose control. Big chain on, rings on, like I just won a Super Bowl. Get it if you want it, baby, that shit ain't nothing. I got 99 problems, getting money ain't one. Maybe back me, please, let it drive itself, baby. And I don't know which chain I'ma wear today. Nigga, fuck 12, I can't hang around no rats. Let the money count. I love the sound of that. This a rich nigga section, boy, it costs to get in here. Y'all just be talking, I swear to God, I'm really him. I'm the type to keep my feet up, bad bitch feed me, great. You the type.
Just disturbing, dude. It's like what are these people thinking? And it just goes to show we're just not the same. Check this viral one out. I mean, these people basically redo the exterior of their home. And that's a beautiful home. I don't know where these people are from, but look what they spend on this, and it's for a prom. That's all it is. It's a high school night, and
Chris now, life been great. I'm flight right now. I hit it after you excited. I got the swim out of them. Shorty have them drip out of them. Put it on the jet out of here. 2024 out here. Top paramedics killing them. Stepping on their necks, milling him. Louis leather vest, nigga trim. Running up a check, stacking them. Yeah. Hold on. I caught the top, Balenciaga. Put it in face, been a hunter. Fly to Abu Dhabi, spin a hundred. Shit like a party, I ain't going on. Take by sticks, I feel better. I see these book got a vendetta.
Bizarre behavior for prom night. I mean, this is not something that you're going to see at a wedding. Probably this was the one that got put out of attention here. Organic. This guy's coming out of a tent.
Organic, bitch. We're organic, bitch.
I mean, where's the humility? Where's the, you're speechless watching this shit. I mean, the guy came out of that tank like he was Alexander the Great. He had a fucking cape on. I mean, what is going on here? Well, like a lot of people have, the suggestion is that this is replacing weddings because, black people don't really get married anymore. There's baby mama culture. I'm of the opinion that this is the black peak. I went to high school, and you have great memories. You have people that you remember and stuff. But I went to college. You forget about high school after that. And frankly, when you go to high school, when you go to college, you graduate from there, and you have those great memories. They get replaced by the accomplishments you have in your career. And I did a lot of great things in my career. So high school, you remember you remember some moments, but I really don't keep in contact with a lot of people in high school. Like, this isn't high school wasn't my peak. Neither was college. High school is the black peak. Majority of these kids probably won't amount to much once they grow old, get older, if they get older. Because if you look at how these 25-year-old guys, if you look at these guys, most of them don't hit 25. Most of them know that they won't hit 25 because they're all, they got this gangster culture shit where they, you got to respect me, otherwise I'm going to smoke you, blah, 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 blah. Some guy gets killed, and then you're at a funeral. This is the top of the mountain for these people. And it's sad. It's very, very sad to think that this is as good as it's ever going to get. They're not going to know what a wedding is like. They're not going to know what having children the right way is like. They're not going to know seeing those kids grow up to be successful themselves is like, or to have grandchildren themselves is like. They won't know that. They're not processed to believe in those things. What they're processed to do is, show a rollie, get out of a tank, and do all that nonsense. There was one more that I wanted to show you of some kid who comes out of a fucking helicopter, and it's incredible. The guy spends $3,000 to come out of a helicopter for his prom.
Flashback.
Way to Nigeria to get my dress custom made. I'm prepared to make my arrival with my kids. Let me get a video at a time.
Yo, what it is, my dog? due to unfortunately your loyalty, you personally.
That's enough. But you kind of get the picture that this is as good as it's going to get for these kids. And maybe some might be a little, they might lead the path of a good life. Who knows? But for some of them, they're so gaudy. You know, when you have to show externally to impress people, it just goes to show how little you have internally. And they probably don't have much at home to begin with. I knew a kid, black kid in high school, and in the neighborhood, not really in high school. He didn't go to school. Who in, I think it was 1993, 1994, when the new Range Rovers came out, they were the biggest thing. They were the truck that was getting carjacked left and right. And this guy had one. He was about 22, 23. He lived in the projects with his mom. He bought a truck or SUV that at that time was $25,000, $30,000, which was a tremendous amount of money in those days. He bought that truck and he lived in a penthouse in a project with his mother, 1 bedroom. He slept on the couch. But driving around with that Range Rover, I'm sorry, Pathfinder, not a Range Rover, a Pathfinder. Driving around with that Pathfinder and people looking like, oh man, that gave him the aura that he was more than he really was. And of course, that aura goes away once people realize that you live in a project. It's a sadness that we have here. It's a big time sadness. Now, of course, I have kids a little around this age and a little older. And when they had proms, it was wonderful. You saw all the girls, take pictures and then their dates, and then, they did nice things. It was classy. It was high school. This is not high school. This is a clown show. And it's not even like well produced. This is stuff that is just so absurdly over the top and gaudy. I mean, you think about it, like, how are they not ashamed? How are they not ashamed that they're attracting attention? And they might be attracting the wrong kind of attention. The kind of attention that our friend Dion Wiley, 17, attracted the night of his prom. Here's old Dion. Let me just do this again. This is old Dion over here who, had to show out, as they say. And he's flashing the bucks, and he's got the suit, and he's got sneakers on, which never made sense to me. And he's got the glasses, and he's showing the watch and all that other shit. But he also shows, if you see in the picture on the right, a large stack of cash. Well, for old Leon, or Dion, whatever his name is, that cash, that splash of the cash, cost Dion his life. He was shot and killed in a parking lot in the after prom party that same night. This happened in Michigan. This was Dion's peak. Dion will never see 18. Dion will never know, who knows if he got laid that night. But Dion will never know women other than the couple of honeys that he probably had in high school. Dion won't know what it's like to graduate from high school. He won't march. He's on a slab. Dion won't know what it's like to work for a living or to have a living, because now the only thing left of Dion is a stain on the street and pictures in his mom's living room, all because he had to just show all that cash, that stack of cash in his hand. Let's show Dion in his final greatest moments.
That's how you coming on the nigga? All right, tell him how you add him up. Nigga lose count around this bitch.
The Dion got that shit on him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
That's how you coming on.
Christ. So yeah, that was Dion. That was the last of Dion that we'll see, and that's probably a good thing for the world. But he's gone. He's dead. He was shot and murdered later that night. This is what I would call Black Peak. The end of it. This is nowhere but downhill from here. And I guess these people are into it. I don't know. And what is with all the cash thing? I mean, why are they just holding stacks of cash and just, like fluttering it around and waving it around? What is that? I've never seen Elon Musk do that. And Elon Musk is the richest guy on the planet at the moment. Well, supposedly. I've never seen any of the richest people in the world, who are almost all white, ever do this. Dress up like clowns, flash cash. This kid wasn't even wearing socks. It's because they have to do this. These people have to do this. This is how they behave. This is how they think. This is the self-esteem and the ego that is so low that they must accentuate what they rent out and pass it on as their lifestyle. We all know the truth here. For all we know, that could be fake movie money, because movie money kind of looks real. It's supposed to, but maybe not. I mean, the kid died for it. Wouldn't that suck? Like you have fake money on you, and you go to an after party, you get shot because people are going to rob you, and they rob you for fake money. That would suck. It would just be apropos and ironic of his own life. But Dion's dead, and are we sorry about it? Nah, it's just one less to worry about. But the ghetto prom, baby mama culture, it just outdoes itself every single year. Next year it'll be something different, and next year you'll probably have a few more after ghetto prom murders. Just hope, God forbid, your kids are in the vicinity of those. Pray. That's why we should be separated. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, my friends, Satan is always busy. You just saw a sample of that. Be a man and have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. Have a great weekend.